All right, I'm Steph, and I grew up in Churchill Falls, Labrador. Came to Newfoundland in 2011 to start university. I was going to take kinesiology and completely didn't care about it at all, and dropped out a couple times. So then I found fitness, and that was kind of like the constant in my life. Became super obsessed with fitness pretty fast because it gave me confidence, it gave me something to focus on, and I seen progression, not only physical progression, but like emotional progression, and yeah, it really improved my life and was one of the only things that improved my life for a while, so I got pretty addicted pretty quickly to fitness. During my whole personal development phase, trying to better myself, I decided I wanted to apply to police forces, military, and I did do that. I applied to RCMP, RNC, a couple other forces in Canada, and every single one came back with the same answer, which is I didn't meet the hearing standards, so I could never become a police officer because of that. I went back to the fitness industry, decided to pursue job, personal training, and I found CrossFit around that time, became a CrossFit coach as well, and still was progressing really well with fitness and the whole 1% better mentality. To achieve like a really high level of fitness, you really need to have a certain mindset, you need to have discipline, you need to be self-motivated. Those are also traits that work really well with entrepreneurship. So being really fit, I think, ties into being an entrepreneur really well because you need the same traits for both. I wrote a business plan during the pandemic, which is probably not a great time to write a business plan, but still did it. Then I needed to take the action to actually make the business happen, which was not easy at all because I basically started from nothing. And every credit union, every bank turned me down. So I kind of had to be really resourceful and find the funding myself. There were a couple days where I just cold called almost like every email, every phone number I could find online. And I eventually did get one investor. A mere 10 grand got me a couple pieces of equipment, which I used to help open the business. Opened curbside pickup first in 2021, and that was actually, it proved the concept of the donuts because we were very busy. And then for a lot of different reasons we had to close the business for 8 months, which was fine. Didn't know what to do for 8 months, but still had that vision in my head. I could not let go of this donut shop vision. So every single day I'd be on like Facebook Marketplace trying to find a place that I could have, a storefront that I could have this donut business. And eventually, 8 months later, I did find a place. Didn't have any money though, so I still kind of confronted the people. The person who was renting it at the time, sat down and had a conversation with him, and kind of figured out how much money it would take to open this donut shop in that particular spot. Yeah, it wasn't easy, but I kind of just like bootstrapped the whole thing and didn't really have that much money to do so. I kind of just figured it as I went. Once we started making revenue during those months, we got to build up some more money, invest more in the business. So I've been open in that spot now it'll be 2 years in August 2024. And I gotta say, it was a huge struggle to get there, but it was so worth it because now I run a very successful business. I really resonated with the Alphas brand because to me it means overcoming adversity, staying resilient, and overcoming hard times. And that really plays into being an entrepreneur and an athlete. In September, I'm going to be competing at Powerlifting Nationals with hopes of hopefully being on Team Canada at some point. I read a book once that was called How to Fail at Everything and Still Win Big, and I still think about that book because I do relate to it in the way that I feel like in my early 20s I failed at a lot of things, but it really brought me to this point of where I am at now, and I'm really happy with where I am right now, and I keep progressing, getting better, and learning from my failures.